Please let me know my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today's topic is exception handling. Exception handling is an unexpected event which occurs during the program execution time, and it's disturb the normal flow of execution, and it's give the abnormal termination. So there is our remaining code will never execute, and we can't get the output. So exception when executing Java code, different errors can occur. Coding occurs, error made by the programmer, error due to wrong input or other unforced things. So exception is nothing but it occurs due to wrong input, like customer or user can give the wrong input, perform the arithmetic operations or in the email password for the login purpose. So that times it's give the exception, and exception there are basically two types of exception: check exception and uncheck exception. So what is a check exception? So check exception, which exception check at the compile time, and it's not it doesn't matter it's handle or not handle. It's checked by the compiler. That's called the check exception, or we can call the run compile time exception. The example of check exception is class not found exception. Another type is uncheck exception. Uncheck exception means which not checked by the compiler, which checked by the JVM at runtime. So that exception called the uncheck exception, and also we can call the runtime exception. So example of runtime exception is arithmetic exception. So we can see the example. That's So what is the exception? How we can handle the exception? All we can see. So here we can we can declare the local variable and assign the value, because we have to assign the local variables. They don't have a default value. If I say C goes to A, to the value for this, and I'm trying to print C. So what will be the output here? This code will execute or give the any error.
It could show us error.
Yeah. So what with the first exception handling? That means this line get executed successfully. Then compiler comes here. It's check the A value and then check the B value. So after that, it's try to perform this operation. But so what's the A? A value is 10 and we try to divide it by 0. So any value cannot divided by 0. So it's give the exception. What the exception by 0? It's give the arithmetic exception. Okay. So exception means which handled by the developers. We can handle that exception by providing the alternate code. But this exception occur here, but we didn't want it to give our error here. we want it print something else whenever the exceptions occurs. So that time we there is the another facility like try catch block. So we can use the try catch block. So if I implement here try block and this code I put inside the try block. But there is a condition. Without a catch block, try block cannot execute. Uh, If the exception is occur inside the try block, so we have to catch that exception. So what's the it give us the arithmetic exception. So we can declare here whichever the exceptions occurs, we have to write that exception inside the catch block. Okay. Arithmetic exception. So arithmetic exception is a class. So we can create the reference variable of class. What we can write here. So it's the role can write average operation. If this code is valid, so after that we can print the output like C. So first observe what will happen here, then I will explain. Yeah. See. First our this line get execute and after that it's check. So it's come inside the try block. Try block it's check the what's the condition here. So condition our 10 divided by 0. So this is the invalid condition. So after that it will not execute this line. The compiler comes outside the try block and it's check what the code write inside the catch block. So it's catch this exception like arithmetic exception. It's checked first whatever the exception occur inside the try block. So with that particular exception declare inside the catch block or not. So we write the correct exception in the catch block. So after that is give the invalid exception. So if I declare like class not found exception. Now we can see here what's the error. So that we can once run this code. What the exception is comes unreachable catch block for class not found exception. This exception is never thrown from the try statement. Means this statements was not through the class not found exception. Understand? So we have to declare here that particular exception, whichever throw by the try block. Okay. Thus, we can understand the hierarchy of the exception handling. So that's better for understand. So here we can see exception is an unexpected, unwanted situation because of which our program will terminate abnormally. So this is the hierarchy of exception handling. So object is a class. It's a default class. Default class for all the Java classes like predefined or user defined. So string wrapper classes or our custom classes inherit the object class. This class contains the equals method, two string methods. After that is the throwable. Throwable is an class. So throwable is a super class for all the exception class. Guys understood na? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. But one thing I want to ask you, ma'am,
Yeah.
what was E in the code? Exception handling के बाजू में जो आपने लिखा
Yeah.
this E in catch block.
Yeah. Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception is an class. Like 1 minute.
No, ma'am, I am asking about the E.
Yeah, E is a reference variable. We can write here A, whatever you
Okay,
want. It's
okay,
just
okay, okay,
refer.
ma'am.
Yeah. It's just refer the
Okay, okay,
arithmetic exception. Is a reference variable. Like arithmetic exception E equals to new arithmetic exception. We can create the reference variable
okay, okay. Get.
like that. So throwable. Throwable is a superclass of all the exception class. Exception class extend the throwable class. So this throwable class contains the equals method, two string methods, which help us to print or do the output. So there is a two types, errors and exception. So first we can see the exception part. After that we can see the error. So exception is handled by the developer. We can recover that. Exception that not recoverable, but we can provide the alternate code. Okay. So there is two types, a runtime exception and a compile time exception. Runtime exception we can say the uncheck exception, and these are the check exception which check by the compiler. So these are the IO exception, SQL exception, and broken barrier exception. This is not important, but these both are important. So runtime exception. In a runtime exception, there is two exception: null pointer exception, arithmetic exceptions, and so on. There is many exceptions. Okay. So, and error means that's not handled by the developer, that handled by the system administrator. And errors occurs due to a lack of system memory storage issue, and crash the system. So that's why errors are occurs that are not recoverable, and we cannot provide the alternate code for that. So there is IO error, stack overflow error. This is the main error actually, and out of memory error. These both are mainly thrown by the system. And this is the part of or a child class of exception. We can directly declare your exception class actually. So also it's fine. It's not giving any kind of error. Exception. Yeah, we can see here. So there is another. So now our condition is same here. Just observe, guys. So what is the output? Exception handling and invalid operation. So why these two lines will not execute? Anyone know? Hello?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, response.
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Because, ma'am, I think this code block is not executing. That's why it's not printing in inside try block.
Okay. So compiler, what we do, it's first check the code line by line. So in Java, other programs, we can see the every line by line code get executes. But here we can see it's first execute this line, and after that it's jump here, and after that it will print this line. So this is the functionality of try block. That means if the exceptions occur inside the try block, on which point the exception will occur. So after that, the compiler will not check the whatever code right inside the try block. After that, it's directly try to catch the exception. It's directly jump to the catch block. So whatever we write in try blocks, that doesn't matter. So that's why it's print this line. Okay. And if I say here, here. So what will be
Got it.
the output here?
This time 5 will be get as
Yeah. So now we can see here. It's execute this line. This line was execute successfully. We can't get the any kind of exception here. So after that, it will print this line and also this line. But in this case, it's not print this line. So that means if the exception is not occurs inside the try block, so compiler no worry about, no queries it about the what's the code right inside the try block. It's directly jump to outside the try catch block. Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah. And for the developer, it's not good practice to write the lots of code inside the try block. We can just write the code which throw an exception. So another point is, can we use the try block without the catch block? Can we use? It's give the exception. We cannot use the try block without catch block. But there is advantage. Finally, you heard about this, right? Finally, block. So you can see here what will be the output. Exception handling 5 inside try block and inside finally block. So we can use the try block with finally block. But in that case, when the exception will not occur, so that time we can use the finally block. But if the exception occur, like observe here, see what will be the output. Exception handling, and it give the occur the exception here, and after that it tried to search the where the catch block where I catch the exception, but it's not found it. And after that, it's execute the finally block. That means finally block just provide the alternative code. Finally block doesn't matter the exception it's occur or exception will not occur. Exception may handle or not handle. Finally block always get executed. It just provide the alternate code. With handle or we can catch the exception. Now see, our exception occur inside the try block. After that, it catch by the catch block, and after that, finally block will get executed. Understood? If you have any doubts
Yes,
here,
ma'am.
please ask. Yeah. So what the functionality of try block, what the catch block will do, what the functionality of finally block.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Can write here. Hello. Uh, yeah, I want to show you another perspective. Like, can we use the two catch block with try block? You can see here. So what, how, why it's giving here the error? It's
I
give the
think two two catch block is the reason.
yeah, we use the two catch block and anything else, any other cases. We can use the two catch block with one try block, but we have to maintain the order of exception. So now we can see here. What's the super class? Exception is a super class, but there is arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception is a child class. In inheritance, we saw we have to maintain the super class, super class or child class. The child class extend the super class. First we declare the super class, after that we declare the child class. But in exception handling, we have to maintain the child to parent disorder. So we can't declare here the parent exception first. We have to declare here arithmetic exception. And after that we can declare here exception. Exception is a parent. So now see. Exception occur inside the try block, and it first check the first catch block. So there is arithmetic exception, and here occurs the arithmetic exception. The both are similar. So it's give execute this line. So after that, once the exception catch, so after that it will not print this, or it will not execute this catch block. We can write the many catch block with single try block. Okay, understood? No?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That exception. So now, which catch block will get executed? Hello. His second
I think
catch.
exception C, second.
Yeah. Second block execute, because there is occurs the arithmetic exception, and first catch block we declare the null pointer exception. So this is not a null pointer exception. So after that it will not execute this, and after he comes inside the second catch block, and exception is a superclass. So exception class contains the arithmetic exception also. So internally it will handle this exception. So till here understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now you can share your screen and try. In try block we can use the try catch block or not. Hello. I will guide you. You just share your screen and try in one try block, declare the try catch block. So it will give any kind of exception, or it's execute successfully. Hello.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
yeah. Don't worry. I
Ma'am, I'm just
will.
opening the
Okay.
Eclipse.
Yeah. So Java is all about the coding. Theory just for the understanding. You have to practice. So after that you can learn how internally it's performed operations. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Just share your screen. I will guide you how to do that. Don't worry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Ma'am, can you see my screen now?
Yeah. Yes.
I am lagging or not? Hello.
Yeah, your screen is visible and
Am
also
I
you are
am I
not.
am I lagging?
Hello. Yeah, you can write. First declare the column main method. Yeah. Now you can just first what I did declare the variable how I did. So after that check we can write the try catch block within a try block or not.
Are the syntax okay? Fine.
Yeah, first declare the try block curly braces. You write the int C. Yeah, you can continue. Shantanu, you can just print the control plus space. So after that, you will get the automatic.
Control S.
Control plus space. Control space. You will get the automatic. Yeah. You can write anything. You can provide anything, the alternative code.
Is it
Yeah.
correct now?
No, you can just now save and check what the output is you get, what the problem is there. Hmm. So now you can observe just why this exception occurs. After that, we provide the alternate code. So after that, you get the exception. Saurav, can you observe?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Um, what the reason? So guys, Shantanu, you write the line like 7 line int C equals to A divided by B. So that exception occur outside of the try block. So that's why it's give the exception. You have to declare that exception inside the try block. So after that, that exception handled by catch block.
Yes, ma'am. C equals to A by B को
Yeah,
try के अंदर ले
yeah, yeah. That line you have to put inside the try block. Just cut that line and put inside the try block.
Okay, ma'am, got it. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Shantanu, just 1 minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello guys, sorry. Okay. So you get the output.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Got it.
You can just stop sharing. I will tell you. I will declare the try. My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Was 100, and we have B goes to 0. So now I want to declare try catch block within a try block. Catch. So there is a many facility in Eclipse. We have auto completion suggestions. Okay. So we can offer one exception here. In C goes to A divided by B. Now we want to check. Can we declare the try catch block in a try block? Catch block. And we also have to provide alternative code here. So, catch block. So now observe here, the exception occurs. I declare the exception inside inner try block. So we can see what will be the output. Outer try block, inner catch block. This line will get executed. After that, our compiler comes here. It check what the condition. The here our arithmetic exception occurs. After that, it will check the that particular exception declare inside the catch block or not. So except that both exception are matched. So that time this line get executed, and the exceptions handle in catch block. So this is the separate try catch block. Okay. So alternately, this exception occur inside the try block, but that exception handle. So that's why this line will not get executed. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now conclusion is we can declare the try catch block within a catch block, and also we can declare the try catch block inside the catch block. But there is no need. This is the deep point. Basically, we use the only try catch block. We will not use inner try catch block or this like. So still here, you clear with this concept, or if
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have any doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Concept is clear.
Okay.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I have just one question that if we check like if we give some conditions like if b is not equals to 0, then we can also print b cannot be 0 like that. So why we are using exception handling? That's
Sorry, I can't get your point. Like,
um, ma'am, when we do divisions, we know
hmm,
that denominator cannot be 0. So in that conditions, if we give conditional statements like if b is equal to 0, then we can use if conditions also. So we don't need to use exception handling in that case.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So you just say
so
like
why?
we can use if else also. So why we use try catch block?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we use the if else statement at the core level, like there is some minor conditions or minor project. But when we go to build the industry level project, like we use the Spring framework, Spring Boot. So that time we create the custom classes. So we are there that there no the every condition will satisfied. Sometimes like we add the customer get the product. So in a e-commerce website we can see like Amazon. So we can try to get any particular product, but that product is not available in their stack. Then their product is not available in their stock. So what they say? They say no, we don't have that product. So after that, there is we not get the any kind of error. We get the alternate solution. Like we don't have that product. Then we use that product after some time. So like a try catch block used at the industry level. So try catch block we use because of provide the alternative code. We didn't want our project crash or our project stop in at a particular point. This is the project level concept. Okay. In if
Okay, ma'am.
else statement we can satisfy the condition there, but try catch block we are not like we can you can see here where we get the output like 0 or 5 after the exception. No, we just provide the alternative code. After if this condition is not satisfied, so I didn't want the my code crash here or give any kind of error. That's the bad practice. I just want that's told me the which kind of error. Like at the same time there is the more than two developers work on particular project. So if I write I work on different part like admin. I work on admin part, you work on doctor part, or Saurabh work on patient part, patient department. So if I get the any error inside the admin part, so how guys you know I get the error here? So I have to declare that error. So I have to direct that. No. So you can get, oh no, here is the some issue, or we can't get the proper output. We have to handle that. So that's why we use the try catch block.
Understood, ma'am.
Yeah. So we see hierarchy of exception. So important is the whenever the throwable is a super class of all exception class. Just keep this in mind. And the object is the super class of all the classes like predefined or custom user defined. Okay. So after that, uh, to string get message and print stack on track method. So what's the use? With the help of toString method, we can get the hash code or a proper output. These three methods are work as same, but toString methods give the hash code. Get message give the output like this. We can get exception here. In which form we get the exception? Like by zero, we can't divide 10. Okay. So just observe if I call here to string method. To string method give same output. It means in this class to string method will override. It comes from the throwable class. There is another get message method. See, by using get message method, we can get the message. And message what in inside E that particular exception store arithmetic exception. Oh, it's a static. We can get the same output, but when we want to print the reference code or reference object what store, so that time we use print stack track method. It's not mainly, but just for the understanding purpose. So still here you understand, but if you have in
Yes, ma'am.
arithmetic exception guys. Yeah. Now we can get it give the exception information. It just print stack track method just print the exception information. Which kind of exception you have? Okay. So what's the use of try catch block? You understand? And what's the use of finally block? About the finally block we can use with the try catch block or we can use with the try block. But in with try block we use when the try block not throw any kind of exception. Because finally block it's just give the alternative code. It's not responsible to handle the exception. Okay. And finally block, it doesn't matter the exception occur or not occur. Exception may handle or not handle. It always get execute. It always get execute. And if we want to restrict the finally block, so how we can restrict? Like we have here finally block. Finally block is used to close the connection. In JDBC, we can learn that how can close the connection. So here our exception occur in try block, exception handled by catch block, and after that finally block will get executed. But we didn't want the finally block always get executed. So how we can restrict that? See inside the final block. There is method system dot exit and we have to pass 0. So now you can see our finally block was not get executed. This is the exit method comes from the system class and system is a static method. So that's why we use with the class name. And this class is present inside the java.lang package, which is the default package. So we can restrict the finally block. And we have to call this method inside the catch block. So it's all about finally block. There is not much more. So still here, you understood guys? So still if you have any doubts, you can ask. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Yeah. So
Yes, ma'am,
okay.
understood.
Understood, ma'am.
Okay. This is all about exception. There is some concept are remaining like throw keyword, and we can see another real-time example. So how the exception we use. Okay. So for today, it's enough. Tomorrow, no, Monday, we can see that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So today, guys,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So today we can stop here. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.